Hello everyone and welcome back to another update video. It is Snapshot 21W05A and today we're going to be going over everything that is new and changed in this update. So jumping right into it, we have a lot of the new blocks that are going to be seen in the Lush Caves that are coming up. We don't actually have Lush Cave generation yet. Much like the other things, we don't have Dripstone Cave generation or anything like that, or the new other caves or the new mountain generation either, but we're getting a lot of the blocks and everything that go along with it. So with this, we've gotten the azalea. So this is the azalea bush, or the flowering azalea, and then the non-flowering azalea is this one. And they sort of look like little bushes that are low to the ground. You can see the little twig under there. And then we have leaves as well. Now these don't grow up into trees, so I'm not exactly sure how they're going to use this. Mostly it seems like they're just going to use this as like a bush decoration block. So it's going to be fairly difficult to get your hands on a lot of these. But this is also how in the original video they showed marking out the Lush Caves, that there might be like a tree with these flowers on it above, and then you might know that there's a Lush Cave down below. So we might see this generating on the surface as well at some point. Now we've also added the glow berry and this, which is the vines. Specifically, they are called cave vines, and they grow down from the ceiling over time, and they also make berries. So as you can see there, I made some berries, and then you right-click them, and it makes more berries as long as you're using bone meal on them. And then if they grow down naturally, they also have a chance to produce berries. So let's just see if that is random tick based. It is. So yeah, you see they grow down, and as they grow down, they always have a chance to make berries when they make a new piece. I haven't seen any happen yet, but there you go. Yeah, see? And then you just have to right-click them and you get the berries off. Now, these berries are also a food source. Not a very good one. I've tested this out. I believe they always give you one haunch, so they're not going to give you a ton of saturation in these, but it is another food source added to the game, and we might see that eventually it's added into a recipe or something and makes a better food than what it is now. Nothing drops from these vines. I'm not sure if it does if you have Silk Touch. So let's give that a try. Let's give ourselves a pickaxe and enchant it with Silk Touch and see if we can hit that. No. So right now we can't get these, but we can plant them. So we might be able to Silk Touch those at some point, but it's not difficult to just grow them anyway. They'll grow over time, and all you'd have to do is basically plant a berry and you're good to go. That is pretty much it for these ones. Now there's also the drip leaf, and let's take a look at that. Okay, so the drip leaf comes in two varieties. There's this small one, which doesn't do anything, and there's the large one, which is the parkour-ish block that they showed in the original videos for the 1.17 update. Now these are the small ones. These are going to be found naturally generated, and you're also going to be able to get them from wandering traders, I believe it said. And these can only grow underwater and on clay blocks because it says they need moisture. So you can have them on there, and then if you bone meal them, they turn into the large drip leaf, which can be broken, picked up, doesn't need Silk Touch or anything. You can just pick them up. And so I will show that to you now. So you just have to break this and it will give you the block. You see I got it there and I got it there. And then these you can arrange somehow, and they are bone mealable, so you can make them whatever size you like as long as you hit the top one. So these you can move along, and then if you stand on it for too long, you fall through it. So this is an interesting new block, and I bet you that this is also an observer output, and so that could be interesting for making different contraptions, because I bet you that if we put just a lamp to see redstone lamp, just a lamp to see if this actually gives an output, it does. You see, 1, 2, 3 as you fall through it. So that's interesting, and might be able to do something with that. And you get a block state update when it goes back up. So these are, I think they're mostly going to be for parkour, but depending on when the actual version comes out, what mobs can spawn on these, this could be a block that we could use for mob farming, things if things can spawn on them, which I don't think they'll be able to. Typically, Mojang doesn't allow mobs to spawn on transparent blocks, and I'm sure that this is a transparent block, not a full block. But who knows? So it might be good for mob farming. Now, there are a couple more just pure decoration blocks, no functionality, like the berries or the drip leaves that come with this update. So we have these, which are hanging roots, and we also have this new dirt texture, which is rooted dirt. There's no way to make this at the moment, but adds an interesting new variation to our different dirts, because we also, of course, now have the dirt and the coarse dirt. So you can just see how these look next to each other. It's not the largest difference, but it's got a little bit more of this texture that sort of looks like this. So maybe at some point it'll be crafted by using the hanging roots and dirt. That's kind of what it looks like, a mixture of. So that's probably what I would think. And then we also now have this moss block, which is like a deeper green. I really like this. This is almost like, almost a lot of the time, what I wish grass looked like in Minecraft, and what it does actually look like in some biomes. Biomes like the mushroom biome. This is a lot more what grass looks like there, this richer green, and I really like this. I think that this is going to be a great decoration block, and it turns out that you can also craft this into carpets. So yeah, just like that, you can make moss carpets and then lay these down over things, so you can get like height variation to your grass. So this is going to be great for like texturing and different things. And I wonder, this might also be non-spawnable grass, because carpet usually doesn't spawn things. So you might be able to make essentially grass where mobs can't spawn, which, and without light, which we were never really able to do before. So that is quite exciting for new decorative blocks as well. Now, the last new block that was added by this update is this right here. It's called the Spore Blossom. There's no way to get this yet, but it is a new decorative block as well. And this one also drops particles, so this is quite interesting. It's not the block that we were promised in the original 1.17 video that has like a huge area of effect particle range, but this one just drips particles down below, and sometimes this is interesting for different builds, and it's also really going to add an atmosphere to the caves when you're walking through and there's like drips falling. I'm interested in why they're green. I thought they, when they said it was going to drip, I imagine these drips being like pink or magenta, something like that, but this is quite interesting the way that it does that. Now on to the changes in this update. One of the new things that has been added is skeletons, when frozen in powdered snow, will now turn into strays, and foxes can now supposedly walk on top of powdered snow. So yeah, if I don't spawn him inside of it there, he walks on top of it. So those are just a couple of small changes to the way that powdered snow works, and apparently also flaming arrows will now get extinguished. And this is now pushable by pistons, so that could be interesting for making traps and other contraptions, hidden entrances to bases. It could be a solid snow block, and then something activates and it pushes a powdered snow block over so that you can fall through it. So that'll be interesting. And oh, that's interesting that you get the freezing effect in creative now as well. And that works with pistons and sticky pistons. So that could be good for hidden base entrances and traps as well. There you go. You just saw these grow, so they don't take too long to grow naturally. There are also a bunch of changes to how skulk sensors work. Just the different vibrations, like frequency changes like mine carts moving, doing different amounts. These are really specific things, and I'm not going to go over all of them, but it does change the way that they work for certain different types of farms, like shulker farms and other things like that. Now, the last, and what I think is personally the most exciting change in this update, is that Drowned, they have changed the loot tables for Drowned, and they are now able, instead of dropping gold, to drop copper ingots instead. So Drowned farms before have really only ever been for tridents, as you never get tridents from Drowned, and I managed to just get one there, instead of gold or copper, which is now actually more common than getting a trident. So this is actually going to be a really good reason to make Drowned farms in the future. There we go, we just got one. So you can see copper ingots you can now get from Drowned, which means copper is farmable. So this is something that we were purely going to have to dig for before, but now you can make a mob farm using Drowned. Obviously, you need looting. It has to be a player kill to get the drop, but so it's not going to be like 100% AFKable, but copper will be renewable if this change stays in. Now, that's everything that is new in this update. We got some really new exciting blocks, and we got this addition of copper that is now going to be farmable by Drowned. So there's lots of really exciting things here, a little bit of something for everybody: parkour people, decorative people, farming people. So I am really excited about the things that are coming in this update. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel so that you see when my snapshot videos come out. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.